name is Awesome Pamaj. My gamer tag always went by Pamaj. It was always a nickname growing up in elementary school, high school, just overall. And I'm a content director for OpTic Gaming. That means you wake up, you find something you're really good at that no one else really can do or has the time to do, and you obsess over that and you post the best of what you got. I grew up in a small town called Parry Sound, right there in Ontario. Not from Toronto or the 6, 2 hours from the 6 though. The life before YouTube even came into play, I just played a lot of hockey. You know, I was a typical kid there at William Beatty School. Go BD Bobcats. Sad thing is though, that school got tore down, so it doesn't exist anymore. It's an old people home. But before that, man, I was just an average kid, I'd say. You know, clumsy, like, you know, goofy, you know, just kind of quiet, kind of just doing his own thing, just in school, right? But a lot of my time just kind of went into hockey. That's about it, man. School didn't really capture my attention that much. So then I stumbled across, heard of a couple guys on YouTube that just, for some reason, found joy putting themselves on the internet, playing games, and being nasty at one thing. It takes a long time, but they got good at it, and they just found themselves posting what they really enjoyed on it. And so I saw that, figured, hey, why not save up money, whatever it is I could find, and save up for a nice little computer, nice little HD PVR, 360 for Christmas from my dad. Took a lot of convincing from my mom. First person to join OpTic twice. That's right, Hector. You said it wouldn't happen. But the first time I joined OpTic, man, that was the most surreal moment I think I could ever think of in grade 9 or 10. I remember how it all happened, man. I'll never forget it. It was a late night. It was it wasn't a school night, actually. Can't even remember. Was it the weekend or something? I don't know, dude. That's not the important setting. The important setting is we were on Xbox Live. I was in Ground War. It was on MW2. I was on Wasteland. It was just me and Logan Kiesling, aka OpTic Predator, the people's champ, the Eminem montage god, the guy who made Predators. It all started on that, man, and he kind of just asked the question, dude. It's like, do you want to join OpTic? He just asked me these questions that kind of led up to it, and I kind of had a feeling, but I'm always that type of guy that'll get excited about something, and then, you know, just like anyone else, I'm sure, you get excited for something and then for some reason it just doesn't happen. That's just my luck. But for some reason that night, he just popped the question. He's like, all right, so do you want to join OpTic? And I said yes. I said yes though in a non-exciting way because I didn't want to seem like a fanboy, right? I didn't want to be like, yes, because for some reason in the back of my head I was like, oh, he's gonna be like, no, I'm just kidding. But I wasn't joking. That would be a sick joke to play on a kid, to, you know, ask him to join OpTic and say just kidding. So that'd be pretty messed up. But as soon as that happened, dude, I was in the basement, and this is when my mom kicked me out of my room because I was up late every single night. I was late for school. I was just up editing the trashiest videos that I could probably even think of that are online. That was the only reason I was in the basement. I got asked to join OpTic there, and then the first thing I did was go to my brother Zach's room, and I just, like, he was sleeping and he had to be up early, and I shook him awake. I was like, Zach, I joined OpTic. And he was like, you know, he was like half awake, half asleep, and then, you know, it felt good to say that, and then I kind of just went back to my setup and just, I don't know, man. I kind of can't even remember that feeling now, actually, because it was just so surreal. I think my mind was just exploding at that point because I joined OpTic, right? So that's really went down. That's what went down when I joined OpTic, man. It happened really fast. You kind of wish you could just capture the moment, you know? You wish you could just capture that memory just right then and there, but, you know, you just gotta live it, I guess. So I feel like this needs a little bit of backstory. Moving into the OpTic House, because when we recorded the Scuf House tour, I was actually there for like 4 or 5 days prior to that video going up. It was kind of hard to, you know, be in that mansion and, you know, have to keep all of that under wraps because, you know, I was waiting to join this org for the second time for 2 years. And I was kind of like acting out in a way because it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen right away. And I actually moved to Vancouver for 6 months just to kind of get out of the house. And that was around the time when every one of my friends were going off to the first year of college. So it felt weird. And there's always those people that say like, it's like, man, I don't want to be stuck in my hometown. I don't want to be stuck here. No one wants to be in your hometown for 20 years. You know what I mean? No one wants to be stuck at home. So I just kind of just chose Vancouver just to go there, and hopes that, Hector would see it, that he'd kind of see like, yeah, this kid's he's ready to move, he's ready to go, he's ready to join OpTic again. For some reason, OpTic is Hector's baby, and it kind of pissed me off he kept me waiting that long. So leading up to that, I actually had all of my stuff in the car, and I went to the border. I drove there, it took 11 hours, and I actually got stopped at the border because I told these guys my story. I told them where I was going, I told them what was going on, and I was this close to not even being let by. And during that hour being in the customs, border, whatever, they went through my car, they went through my phone, they went through everything. They didn't believe my story, and it felt like all of that waiting, leading up to join OpTic again, felt like it just wasn't gonna happen. You know what I mean? And it's funny because even before that, my mom was so invested in it too. She was, any event I went to during those 2 years, my mom was like, "You joining OpTic?" And I would lie to her. I would lie to her out of pure confidence of being like, yeah, it's happening this time. I'm gonna go to this event, we'll talk to Hector, we're gonna talk it out, we're gonna think of a dope way to announce it. It's gonna happen. And then for some reason, every single event that just went by just didn't happen. And I just come home so just upset, and just, have to tell my mom, nope, it didn't happen. So all of that leading up to getting stopped at the customs border before that apartment video went up, dude, sucked. Felt like it was never gonna happen. But a couple little things prior to me driving, I got really lucky with how it just panned out. So I guess everything happens for a reason. But that's kind of just some backstory leading up to the announcement and all that. The Scuf House was great, man. It was definitely an experience. It was definitely something that I wish I could tell you guys about, so you guys can maybe understand what goes on in that house. But I envision the new content coming to OpTic as more structured. I'd say a lot more exciting because there's lots to do around here. It's very fresh. It doesn't feel like a suburban area. It feels like there's more opportunity here. It feels like, you're only as good as your surroundings are, right? So being in a fresh new environment like this, being very close to a lot of things that we can do together. Still haven't done a lot of things together, if I'm being honest, but we're all getting used to that. I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels like that. So I'm excited though, man. To do content, it sounds like a blast, dude. You go in it, you get wrapped up in something every single day. I get a lot of tweets. I'm sure all of us here at OpTic get a lot of tweets. You're so lucky. You get to create content with your friends. You get to play video games for a living. It's great. And we all got wrapped up in this feeling to get here, but I feel like a lot of us, we lacked and we lost a lot of balance in that. So my biggest advice to anyone who's a content creator coming up in this space, make sure you don't forget your life, man. Because you get really wrapped up in editing, and you start a video you really like, next thing you know, 8 hours later go by, video is done. Sweet, that's the feeling you chase for, right? But you don't want to be just that empty shell of that person dancing in front of a camera. You gotta let yourself live a little bit. You gotta let yourself see different things out there in the world, and that'll affect your content. That'll make things not repetitive. That'll make things not seem sour and not feel repetitive at the end of the day. I'd say make sure you're doing what you want to do, but also don't get wrapped up in that completely. Let yourself like and try other things, because really it's your content. It's not up to the people watching. It's what you really want to do. Imagine yourself what you'd be happy with doing every single day, and just make sure you enjoy it, man. because that's all that really matters.